Williams, Daniel the Tech Trainer, here today to talk about creating a Google form. Google Forms are a great way to collect information, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Obviously, Google Forms, you do have to have a Gmail account, but all you KW agents, good news, your @KW email is a Google account. So first off, just go to google.com or we're going to head over to the your Google Drive in essence. My personal preference is I just click on the little 9 squares up here and click on Drive. There's a couple different ways to get here, but this is just my personal preference. From here I'm going to go into the drive itself rather than just kind of the highlights, and then I'm going to right click in this area and I'm going to select the new folder option. There's buttons all over the place that you can do this in different ways. Up in the top left there's like a new button, just lots of ways to get to this particular part. And I do like to put this inside of a new folder just to kind of keep that project separated. So in this particular case I'll put like demo form. And we're just going to hit create there. My new folder is created and I'm just going to open that. So right now there's nothing inside of it. Again, a couple different ways to do this, but I prefer to just right click and I'm going to click on this Google Forms. Probably helps if I change the instructions to the next step here for you. There we go, create a Google form. So up here at the top, there is a fair amount of customizing you can do, not a ton, but some. There's like a color scheme and stuff like that. I'm going to name this just demo form. And in fact, actually, you know what? I'm going to do, yeah, I will, demo form. This form is to be filled out by a person. Let's see, it as a spreadsheet. All right, so right off it has what questions do you want on the form. Now what's cool about this, if you've never done it before, is you see how right now it's the radio boxes. Now I can change that manually, but let's say I want to put like first name. Google will realize without me clicking anything that, hey, first name, that's not going to really work for radio boxes, and it changed it to short answer. Now let's say for some reason you first name actually should have been a radio box, you can manually go in here and change it back. And you can also start it off those ways as well. What I'm going to do here, you can, you can put like some, again, customization like pictures and stuff like that with this as you go. But for the purpose of this demo, we're going to kind of keep stuff simple. Let's do the next one. Let's do last name. And phone number, and you see how everything is kind of dropping down here. And let's say you did want something with a radio box. What is the best band on this list? So we'll do Queen, AC/DC. I'm kind of showing my age here. Nirvana, David Bowie. Y'all get the idea. And you notice I did put on this list, so don't get all judgy with me here. You could certainly put Tay-Tay or whoever you want if you're doing your own little list here. I just wanted to demonstrate the radio boxes. If you're not familiar with radio boxes, you can only choose one whenever you do a radio box. If you want to be able to do multiple answers, you can use check boxes instead. So let's say you did like what do you like to do? You can put like watch movies, read books, exercise, as little as, what do I do there? Possible. All right. And now if somebody likes to do as little as possible and watch movies, they'd be able to check both those boxes, or maybe all those boxes, but you get the idea. You'll also notice as we've been filling these out, you can make these required. So someone has to answer these questions in order for it to go on, for them to be able to submit it to you in essence. Or you can leave it unchecked, in which case you don't have to worry about that. Once you have everything made, the next thing we need to do is, if you're using your KW or you're using a pretty much a domain outside of gmail.com, you'll have to go in and allow people to answer this without having Gmail accounts. The way you do that is you go up to settings, let's see here, responses, and you see right now I'm using my KW email, so by default it's saying that only people with KW emails can answer this form. I don't want that. I'm going to uncheck that box. So now anybody with any Gmail or any email account at all will be able to fill this out. The next step is currently to get the responses from this, you would have to come back to this form and just click on those responses and it'll list in here. I personally like to have a spreadsheet of that instead, which you can export as like a CSV. If you, let's say you had like 10 contacts on here and you wanted to input it into a CRM or something like that, like command, you could export the sheet that's created as a CSV. Now, one step I did kind of skip that I do like to fix before I do this. Right now it's showing untitled form. Whenever I click up here, it does change the name instantly to whatever that first part of the form itself that you put in. Now I'll click on the link to sheets. I only like to do that just because I don't like the sheet name not to be the same as that. So I'm going to click that, and it's asking if there's already a spreadsheet or if it should create a new spreadsheet. By default, it's going to be the name of the form plus responses at the end, and that's just fine with me. So now that spreadsheet exists as well. Now, in some cases, you may want to know when someone has filled out the form. So in a case like that, what we'll do is we'll actually come back over to the responses tab. By default, whenever you kind of come in here, you're going to go to questions. So responses, and you're going to go to what I like to call the sideways ellipsis button, because you got the 3 dots. It's just sideways. And I'm going to click this get email notifications for new responses. So what that will do is every time somebody fills out this form, then they're going to, then I'm going to get an email saying that somebody has filled out the form. At this point, and you can do this from any of these pages, you'll hit the send button, and you have the options that you can send this this link directly, or in almost all cases, you'll end up clicking the little hyperlink button. And then you see it is an atrociously long website. So I like to click the shorten URL button, copy that, and then you can add that to your whatever your marketing you're doing to try to get people to fill out the form. Maybe even create a QR code so that it pops up on their phones. Just for the sake of this, I want to show you what it looks like to the person filling out the form. So we'll hop in here. So let's say my name is Frankerson, 555555555. Ooh, that's actually a really good question, depending on my mood. Let's go with, yeah, let's go ahead and go with Queen. And Frankerson likes to watch movies, read books, and hates exercise, so as little as possible. Frank submitted that form, and then over on this side, again, it'll show up in responses, but it's also going to show up in the spreadsheet form as well. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is how you create forms in Google. What you do with that afterwards, that's a completely other story. There are some neat little charts and things like that that can be created depending on what kind of questions you have on there. But yeah, I hope this helped out tremendously for you and that you're able to put it to good use. Take care.